when I need it. Oh, sorry. I don't know how that song came up. It's so random. This thing plays random songs, and I don't even know what that song is. Boyzone, Picture of You. So, welcome to this video. My name is Dr. Lasker. I'm a consultant radiologist, and we are on drive time with Imran. We are on the way to work somewhere on the M25 on a morning. I'm not going to say which morning, otherwise, if I tell you which morning I work, you guys are going to find me at work. And the whole point is that people don't find me. Don't find me. Don't look for me. So, this video is based on a comment that came up on my YouTube channel, and I did reply to the comment, but I thought I should do a video on it too. It said, I heard this argument when someone said being a surgeon is more ambitious than being a radiologist. So it's very interesting because it relates entirely to the previous video when I was talking about really identifying what your ambition is. What is your ambition? Where are you trying to get to, right? Because your ambition, you watching this video right now, may have a different ambition to me. But the thing is, some people's ambitions haven't been crystallized. They haven't thought about what it is they want from their life and where are they trying to get to. What does their life look like in a decade from now? And so I've been mentoring people recently out of the blue. I don't know how this happens, but people have been asking for me to mentor them, so I do. And one of the first questions I ask them is, what does your life look like in, let's say, 10 years from now? And they'll say, well, I'm hopefully a surgeon or whatever, and I'm doing this and that. I'm not asking about that. If you're doing a surgical training job or radiology training, I mean, that's a given. That's a given. Like you'll probably, highly likely, finish your training, you'll get to that. But I'm talking about, what does your life look like? What are you doing in your day? And then that's when you start to think that they haven't thought about what does their day look like. Are they going in early every morning? Are they staying late every day? Are they doing publications? Are they running up and down the country, going to conferences? Are they in big level meetings in management? Those are all foreseeable futures, but no one's really thought about it, if that makes any sense. So it's really important to think about, okay, what does my life look like? And the next question is, how much are you earning? And then that's when people will be like, oh, well, I don't know, I'll be earning something like this. And it's like, okay, well, you are. I mean, I assume you're doing a job to get paid on some level, right? So you'd assume that would be part of the bigger question as to why you're doing what you're doing. Saying that you have no idea about how much you want to get paid feels like a bit of a big miss, right? And we can come to another future video as to why that may be the case, as to why people are not asking themselves that question, because maybe people aren't honest about what they're making. I don't know. Anyway, coming back to the original question about, is being a surgeon more ambitious than being a radiologist, right? So I've been in family dues, and I've been in the situation where someone's asked, hey, what do you do? And I'd say, well, I'm a radiologist. And then my colleague, who's with me, a friend of mine, would be like, well, I'm a surgeon. And straight away you can see the person, you're a surgeon, that's amazing. And you can see my colleague's face that, wow, this is awesome, like I'm getting treated quite nice because I'm a surgeon. But then the thing is, like, those few seconds of accolades, that few seconds of being seen to be like a high achieving person lasted maybe a few seconds. And then after that initial, wow, that's amazing, maybe a bit of a conversation about it, we move on to the things we actually want to talk about. So those few seconds may make it worth it for the person who's a surgeon. The few minutes of accolades, the few seconds of someone saying, wow, that's an amazing thing that you do, may be worth it for them to go through all that grief and hardship. So I remember when I was doing on-calls as a radiologist, I'd be sitting there in the office having my cup of tea. I might have gone to the gym earlier, so I'm feeling like a bit of a pump, feeling good. And a surgeon, looking very knackered, runs in, demanding a scan. They're very rude. They're having a bit of a dig at me. And then you can see they're looking at me with my coffee, looking at the screen, and they're kind of giving this attitude that they're better than you. And a few times I felt as though I could rise up to it. But then I realized, I think you're better than me on whatever metric that you're using to measure yourself and everyone in general. But on my personal metric, I would say that I'm better than you, because whatever I'm doing is working for me. I've gone to the gym, I'm sitting here, I'm doing my work, I'm not rushed, I'm not running, I'm not stressed, I'm having a coffee. I don't have to be having a go at people if I don't want to be having a go at people. And so that's the thing, right? Just because something's harder to get to doesn't mean that it's more ambitious, yeah? Just because something's hard to do doesn't mean that it's better than something else. Like, you could do a very hard job and it's just a rubbish job. It's just a rubbish job. It doesn't pay, it doesn't give you time back, and you got no respect for it. But let's say if someone wants to be a neurosurgeon. For me, why didn't I not do neurosurgery? So a neurosurgeon may turn around and say, well, Imran's not cut out to be a neurosurgeon. He's not good enough. He's not clever enough, right? But actually, I'd argue back and say it's more about allocation of time and effort. Because when you look at your typical neurosurgical application, it doesn't have so much to do with how smart you are. It's a lot to do with how much work you've done outside of work. How much time have you allocated towards publications, papers, doing all these kind of qualifications, going to courses and that kind of thing to get into this. So everything really, once you get to a certain point, is about allocation of time and effort. That's all it is. It's not about being smart. It's all about time and effort. Where are you going to put your time and effort? If I was to spend my evenings working on a thesis, that means less time for me to go make money. And if the metric that I'm using is time and money, then therefore a thesis and a PhD is not worth my time and money, unless that thesis and all that will result in more time and money later on. And so for me, these things aren't worth it. And that's the thing, right? People, I think when they say something ambitious or they see themselves as successful, as like a success, I don't think they've really identified what success is for them, personally. Or they're identifying success to be based on what everyone else thinks. I've got friends, right? And they'll say something like, I love surgery. I love it. Like when I'm in surgery, I'm the happiest. And I would actually counter with that, are you really that happy when you do surgery? If you had the day off, would you go do surgery? Like really? If I said you can do whatever you want today, would you go and do surgery? Would you? And if that's the case, then by all means, you enjoy surgery. And I mean, you genuinely do it. And you getting paid is actually irrelevant. But if you don't go in and do surgery on your day off, right, then to me, you enjoy some aspects of your job because it gives you other things in return. And so when people say they really enjoy their job as well, when you're running up and down the country and not seeing your family and friends, is it worth it then? Is all that work and effort worth those few moments when someone's really impressed with your accolades of being whatever you're doing? Is it really? Because some people are spending decades getting to be the big shot surgeon and all the rest of it for the few seconds of enjoyment. Let's say if you got someone and said, look, let's get all the bits of the job that you genuinely enjoy, that you genuinely think, you know what, I'm not happy anywhere else. And you put it all together, you scrumped it all together into one like big time segment, right? And then you added all the bits that you're not so happy with and all the stuff you've got to do around it to enable you to do that bit that you really enjoy, right? And then you compare it to the times that you've got with your family and friends and how much you enjoy your time with them. Now, my guess would be that the amount of time that you've got to allocate to be able to do the bits of the job that you enjoy far outweigh the amount of time that you actually enjoy doing your job and far outweigh the time that you are spending time with your family and friends. I mean, if that's the case, then that's not worth it to me personally, because as I said before, time is so finite. Your time on this planet means like it just flies away so quickly. Why not spend it doing this stuff unless you really enjoy it on your day off? It makes no sense to me. So coming back to the original point, because I do go on a bit of a tangent, is being a surgeon more ambitious than being a radiologist? Yes and no, very much depending on what your ambitions are. If you're using the ambition metric that I use, which is, does it give me more time and more money? Then no, it doesn't. Because it takes a lot more effort to become a surgeon, a lot more effort to get into surgery, a lot more effort to do the actual physical surgery than it takes for me to do what I do. And so therefore, to me personally, being a radiologist is more ambitious because it satisfies the ambitions that I'm trying to get to. And so it's very important, again, like with the last video I said, it's very important to identify the ambitions that you're trying to get to, your goal. Where are you trying to get to? And then, does surgery satisfy that metric? And if that's the case, then yeah, surgery may be the ambitious thing for you. So hopefully that kind of tries to quantify what I meant in that last video about ambition and maybe help some of you guys out there identify what your ambition is. And as always, very grateful for those of you that do follow me and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.